Hey there, it's Russ, and today I'm going to talk about why retirement planning is much more important and effective than simply creating a retirement plan. And be sure to stick around to the end where I'll share details about how you can access my free email course, which will talk about retirement and financial planning, and will include some more videos just like this one. Right now, let me share my screen with you, so bear with me 1 second here while I get my technology working with me. Hang on 1 sec. And let me say while this is pulling up, I am no artist, but I'm going to attempt to do a quick little illustration for you here. So let's say that that's Texas, that's Florida, that's New England up there, here's the Great Lakes, and back over to the Pacific Northwest. So that is my poor attempt to draw the US. Let's say we start over here on the West Coast in LA, and we're going to plan a trip to New York in the East Coast. And let's say that we're going to take a flight. So if we're planning to fly direct from LA to New York, the pilot has undoubtedly gone through a pre-flight checklist. He's talked with the air traffic controllers. He's looked at weather, things like that. He has laid out a flight plan. But as you can imagine, no flight plan is ever going to go exactly like the plan or the passengers hope it will. And many of these things you might not even be aware of since you're not in the cockpit, but there will inevitably be weather currents, tailwinds, headwinds, things like that. And so, and if you think about the fact that the pilot adjusting for weather and other factors that come up during the flight, if he or she has to adjust the course heading for the plane by just a couple of degrees, well, if you start in LA and you make a couple of degree adjustments, by the time you get over Las Vegas or even to the Midwest, it's probably not a big deal. But by the time you get over here to the East Coast, if you start out with just a small course correction, but you spread that out over thousands of miles, you might wind up in Atlanta, Georgia, or you might wind up in Minneapolis, who knows. The point being, a flight plan, just like a retirement plan, is nothing more than a snapshot in time. It's based on what we know right now and what we anticipate happening. Inevitably, life is going to be a little messy. And so things will pop up that the pilot didn't anticipate. And in the context of your retirement plan, things are going to pop up that you likely didn't anticipate. Those can be personal changes. They can be professional, related to your career if you're still working, you have not retired yet. They can be family related with your spouse or children or your aging parents. It could be in your community, something happens with your home. There's always things going on with the market, the economy, tax legislation, the political climate, things going on around the world that may or may not have some impact on the US economy and the markets and things like that. So the point I want to make here is creating a retirement plan is a valuable exercise, but you need to understand that's just a snapshot in time. It just looks at what you know today. The more important approach to, or the more effective approach to retirement planning, in my opinion, is to have a process to regularly review and update your retirement plan, to take ongoing snapshots from time to time, to say, okay, well, we created this plan 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road. Let's take another snapshot. Let's see what's happening now. What's changed? What's improved? What's maybe deteriorated relative to our original plan? Maybe the market's done better than we had anticipated. Well, in that case, we can maybe move up our retirement date, reduce our savings, lower our investment risk, achieve one or more other goals that are important to us sooner or with a bigger funding amount. The flip side of that, of course, is true. If the market or other circumstances change to the negative, we may have to delay our retirement age for a year or two or more. We might have to reduce our planned retirement spending. We might have to consider increasing our savings towards retirement, or maybe even increasing our investment risk. So it's this ongoing review, and update process that's the truly valuable part of retirement planning. Because if you just take a snapshot in time, whether it's a day or a week or a month or a year, that's going to change. Your plans are going to have to change. And if you had originally planned, to go back to my earlier analogy, to go from LA to New York, things might have changed and you may be way off course. And so if you're still planning to get to New York, or let's call it your personal retirement plan, it's almost inevitable that you're going to need to make some adjustments along the way. And those adjustments, again, can be retirement age, retirement spending, how much you plan to leave in a liquid estate to your family, to your kids, grandkids, church, charity, whatever the case may be. You can also adjust your investment risk, how much you're saving towards retirement. Other goals, maybe you had planned to have a travel budget of $20,000 every year for the first 15 years of retirement. Well, maybe in order to keep your retirement plan on track, to get to New York on time, maybe you need to reduce your travel budget. Or instead of $20,000 every year, maybe it's $15,000 every other year. The point being is you've always got variables within your control. You always have things that you can influence and take control of to help manage and monitor and keep your retirement plan on track. So the point here is the process of retirement planning is much more important and frankly much more effective than just creating a retirement plan one time and hoping it works out. If you're interested, as I mentioned earlier, in checking out my free email course on financial planning and retirement planning, I'll include the link below in the description. You can click that. And in fact, I'll try to include a link right here above me that you can click and go right to it. So I hope you'll check that out. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, smash that like button, and I will look forward to talking to you next time. Thanks.